Hello and welcome to another episode of Kia Electric News. It's been a very busy week again, which has led me to put out 3 videos. In the first video I show how to change the EV3 Cabin Air Filter, and I also reveal the location of the cCNC computer, which is also behind the glove box. This gets very hot when the car is on or charging or using vehicle to load, so that explains why your glove box has got an invisible heating system. In the second video I covered Bev Birch's EV3 12V constant charging issues and the traction battery drain. In the third I covered the over-the-air update release of EU cCNC Maps Infotainment version 250601. On the subject of the new maps, I also noticed that Hyundai cCNC were also getting the update, which has identical release notes. I also noticed from one of the Hyundai Inster Facebook groups that the Inster was now getting its first Gen 5W Maps update as well. On the subject of Google POI, or points of interest, coming to the Gen 5W Maps, Andrew Nicholson, who has a EV6 pre-facelift, has let me know that when his OTA Maps arrived, that the release notes in the car actually differ from the QR code release notes. So it looks like the Gen 5W is not getting Google points of interest at the moment, according to the in-car version of the release notes. That's also been confirmed in some other EV6 owners' comments. That's the EV6 pre-facelift. This also has me wondering about cCNC head units being in the same situation in 3 years' time or sooner, once Hyundai Motor Group's Pleos Connect is launched next year. I guess probably. Last week, What Car did a 40 degrees Celsius range test with a Kia EV3, a Tesla Model 3 and a Citroen EC3 in southern Spain. This is well worth a watch if you have an EV3, and also backs up some of my charging speeds test observation results when charging at temperatures greater than 30 degrees. So which one won, do you think? Korean Car Blog reports that the US spec Kia EV4 GT Sedan has been spied inside and out in the US this week. KCB says Kia continues to expand its high-performance electric lineup, and for the first time the EV4 GT Sedan has been caught testing on a US road in Arizona. Spotted by our colleagues at Chris's Editing, the EV4 GT is seen with a new pair of front sport seats, yellow seat belts and yellow stitching, as well as new alloy wheels. I guess that's coming sooner than later. This week Hyundai has offered its first glimpse of the new EV concept car ahead of the IAA Mobility Show in September in Munich. It is strongly rumoured to be the Hyundai Ioniq 3. 2 sets of images were released so far this week. More may follow next week before the actual reveal in Munich the week after. The show runs from the 9th to the 14th of September. This concept car will hopefully transform into the Ioniq 3 production model to be launched in the first half of 2026. By a complete coincidence this week, Gary Buck, our Australian correspondent, sent me his findings of leaving his EV6 parked up for 2 months whilst he was lucky enough to have a 2-month holiday in Europe. He covers how much traction battery was used and 12V activity. Gary says this: I was lucky enough to have a 2-month holiday recently, and I wondered what I should do with my EV6. I mean, would it last? Would the 12V last? Would it open when I got back? My car is a 2022 all-wheel drive EV6 GT line and has a fairly new 12V battery. I decided to charge to near 80% and leave it to sit. So what happened? The short answer is that I came home and I walked up to it and it started straight away, exactly as I had hoped it would. I've attached some charts below, and you can see that the car was at 78% state of charge when I left and 66% state of charge when I came home after 2 months. So it's using 1 or 2% a week. I should add that I live in an apartment and I have aftermarket dash cams front and back. I know they pull the 12V battery down a little each night. So what was the 12V battery like? Let me explain the chart below. Month 1 is the top chunk and month 2 is the bottom chunk. The big white arrow is when I parked the car. I left the period before on the chart so you can see the normal 12V charging. Normal charging for my 12-volt battery is that most nights there is some loss of voltage due to the dash cams probably, and the big battery tops it up. For about a week after we left, it seems that the big battery gives a 12-volt a short zap a bit more often that daily. Then for some reason it dropped to almost not needing a charge for a week, and there is almost no voltage drop. I'm now wondering if the nightly drop is not the dash cams but the Kia system sitting ready to unlock the car or something. Then after a week it does a bigger shutdown. Well, I've suggested to Gary, I know he hasn't got Kia Connect, but Kia Connect normally the whole car goes into sleep mode after a week, and it could be due to that. Anyway, back to Gary's story. It then moves to a top up every 2 days. I'm not sure, but I am now comfortable leaving the car for long periods. Cheers for that, Gary, very useful information. And now for a couple of US technical service bulletins. The first one is for the Kia Niro EV and the original EV6. This would be for the ones produced in South Korea. Details as follows. This bulletin provides information to replace the front motor reduction gear assembly oil on certain 2023 to 2024 model year Niro EVs, that's SG2s, produced from December the 12th, 22 through to February the 7th, 24, and EV6s produced from December the 14th, 22 through to February the 22nd, 2024. During the production of the subject vehicles, the amount of gear oil in the front motor and reduction gear assembly may have been filled below factory specification. If the gear oil level is lower than Kia's factory specifications, the subject vehicles may eventually produce a grinding noise or whining noise from the front of the vehicle while driving. Follow the procedure outlined in this publication to drain and refill the front motor reduction gear oil on the applicable vehicles. If this service action becomes worldwide, then the recall code for the EV6 will be 250060R4, and for the Niro EV it will be 250060R5. I guess in the EV6 case the cars affected will be all-wheel drive variants, because the normal rear-wheel drive it's just got the back motor. And the other technical service bulletin is for the US built EV9s. Details as follows. This bulletin provides information to replace the front motor reduction gear assembly or GDU on certain 2025 model year EV9 MV1As, vehicles produced from November the 25th, 24 through to December the 6th, 2024, that were assembled at the Kia assembly plant in the US. The affected vehicles may experience abnormal noise coming from the front GDU, which is caused by a missing wave washer from the motor inside the front GDU. Follow the procedure outlined in this publication to replace the front GDU on the applicable vehicle. Before conducting the procedure, verify that the vehicles are included in a list of VINs. There's actually only 4 VINs affected, so just 4 examples. Last week I stumbled across a Pleos YouTube channel. As I may have mentioned before, Pleos Connect is the next generation infotainment system for Hyundai Motor Group, which will probably be seen in new cars in 2026. This video gives the lowdown on how Pleos Connect will behave in future vehicles. The video is in Korean with English subtitles. These words are from the transcript. Explore how Hyundai Motor Group is shaping the mobility experience with Pleos Connect, the next generation infotainment system, and its agentic AI, which is called Clio AI. Software-defined vehicles are seamlessly integrated with mobile devices, allowing users to monitor and control vehicle status directly from their smartphones. Now the same vehicle information available on mobile can also be accessed through the in-vehicle infotainment system display. When a user profile is selected, the vehicle automatically adjusts its settings according to the personalized preferences stored in that profile. With the help of the agentic AI, Clio AI, all in-vehicle experiences can be controlled via voice commands. So for example, you can say, Clio, will it rain in Gwangnam tomorrow afternoon? And how's the air quality? And Clio will reply, the weather in Gangnam will be clear tomorrow. No rain is expected and the air quality will be moderate. Clio AI utilizes seat position voice recognition to identify the speaker's location and execute commands accordingly. So I could say, Clio, close this window. Clio would reply, closing the driver's side window. The passenger could say, mine too, and Clio would then say, closing the passenger side window. So it's quite clever. It also understands and processes multiple requests simultaneously without delay. For example, Clio, turn off the AC, open the windows and turn up the music volume. Clio replies, I've turned off the AC, opened the windows and increased the music volume. Vehicle hardware can be integrated with third-party services, whilst external devices can also be connected to the vehicle via plug-and-play feature provided by Pleos Connect. These diverse SDV user experiences continue to evolve and improve through software and AI-driven technologies. The real revelation in the option to have clip-on physical buttons that would give the best of both worlds, tactile controls and touchscreen. That would be really good. And finally, Hyundai has made this charming promotional video called The Lost Night to promote the Hyundai Ioniq 6N. This is what the video blurb says. A long time ago, a knight embarked on a quest for the legendary sword. Guided by destiny, he awakens in a world of speed and innovation. Follow the knight's journey through time to the heart of End Day 2025 at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Anyway, that's all for this week. Links to all source stories and videos can be found in the show notes in the video description. Welcome all new subscribers. Thanks for all the comments, views and likes this week. As usual, a massive thanks to all my channel members for your invaluable financial support. You really do help keep this channel going. For a few pounds a month, channel members get exclusive early access to my videos, which are in an advert-free stream. They also get access to video exclusives. Thanks for watching.